Sometimes life will back you into a corner. The doors you prayed for will stay locked. The phone won't ring. The opportunity you thought was yours will pass right by, and you'll start to wonder, what now? Because you've done everything right. You've given, you've tried, you've believed, and still it feels like nothing's moving. You look around and all you see are walls, no openings, no answers, no signs. But listen, just because you can't see a way doesn't mean a way isn't being made. Sometimes the path doesn't appear until your feet start moving. Sometimes the miracle doesn't show up until the moment you stop trying to control the outcome and start trusting the unseen. There is a power working behind the curtain, piecing together what your heart can't comprehend yet. You've got to learn to trust the process when it doesn't make sense, to trust that closed doors aren't rejection, they're redirection. To trust that what feels like loss might actually be protection, that detour might not be punishment, it might be preparation. See, you think you're stuck, but you're actually being positioned. You think you've been forgotten, but you're being hidden for the right moment. You think the season is over, but it's only the setup for your next chapter. Sometimes the way isn't built for you to find. It's built for you to walk into by faith. You've got to walk like there's ground under your feet even when all you see is air. You've got to believe that something greater is shaping the chaos into clarity. It may not happen how you thought it would. It may not come through who you expected. But if you keep standing, keep believing, keep trusting when it doesn't make sense, you'll look back and realize every no was necessary. Every delay had direction. Every disappointment was divine redirection. So don't panic in the pause. Don't let the silence make you doubt what's still being written, even when there seems to be no weight, rust, because the same power that breathed purpose into your pain can carve a path through what looked impossible. There will be a way, and when it appears, you'll realize it was never your job to make it happen, only to believe it could. Closed doors aren't rejection, they're redirection. It's human nature to take every disappointment personally, to see a closed door and assume it means we weren't good enough, ready enough, or chosen enough. But sometimes the doors that close are doing more for our destiny than the ones that open. A closed door is not a punishment, it's protection. It's a divine reroute away from something that could have limited your growth, broken your spirit, or distracted you from what was truly meant for you. What feels like rejection in the moment often turns out to be the greatest mercy later. When you're standing in front of a door that refuses to open, frustration builds. You knock, you push, you pray, you plead, and nothing moves. You start questioning your worth, your timing, even your purpose. But maybe that door is closed because it's leading somewhere smaller than what's been prepared for you. Sometimes we ask for more but still chase things that fit the version of us we're outgrowing. The door shuts not to stop us, but to save us. From settling, from shrinking, from staying in places we've already outlived. Rejection hurts because it feels final, but redirection is actually the beginning of something new. Every time life closes one path, it's an invitation to shift perspective. It's saying, there's another way, a better way, but you'll have to trust the unknown to find it. Closed doors push us into creativity, into resilience, into faith we didn't know we had. They force us to pause and look for what's next instead of clinging to what's familiar. And in that pause, something begins to shift. You start to see that your story isn't over, it's just being edited for a better ending. The pain of rejection often disguises the protection of purpose. What you thought was loss was actually alignment. The door didn't close because you lacked something. It closed because you were meant to go higher, further, deeper. If every opportunity opened easily, you'd never learn discernment. You'd never learn how to trust timing or how to stand firm when plans fall apart. Closed doors build character. They teach patience. They remind you that what's meant for you won't need to be forced open. So instead of mourning the doors that close, start thanking them. Every no, every delay, every missed opportunity carries hidden direction. Closed doors aren't rejection. They're the universe whispering, you're being guided somewhere greater. The way appears when you start moving. So many people spend their lives waiting for certainty before they take a step. They want the plan to be clear, the resources to be ready, the timing to be perfect. But progress doesn't come from clarity. It comes from courage. The path rarely reveals itself until you take that first uncertain step. Movement activates direction. What looks invisible begins to unfold when you decide to walk by faith instead of waiting for proof. You won't always see the full picture, but you'll see just enough to take the next step. It's easy to get paralyzed by overthinking, by fear of failure, or by waiting for a sign that guarantees success. But life doesn't work that way. Growth happens when you move, even if your voice shakes, even if your knees tremble. You can't steer a parked car, and you can't live out your purpose standing still. Momentum builds clarity. When you start walking, you start seeing possibilities that didn't exist before. New ideas, new connections, new strength begin to appear, not because they suddenly arrived, but because your movement unlocked them. Sometimes we want the map, but what we get is a compass. We want assurance, but what we're given is faith. The way forward won't always be marked by certainty. It will be marked by obedience to the nudge in your spirit that says, go. The path forms under your feet, not before them. It's a dance between trust and action, between patience and pursuit. You may take one step and see no progress, but take another, and the horizon starts to shift. Movement doesn't mean rushing or forcing. It means refusing to stay stuck. Even small steps matter. Sending the message, writing the idea down, showing up to try again. These little acts of movement carry power. Waiting for perfect conditions keeps you trapped in hesitation, but movement invites miracles. Every breakthrough begins with a decision to move despite not knowing what comes next. You can't predict every turn, but you can trust that movement brings momentum. You'll never know how close you are to the next open door until you start walking toward it. The way was never meant to be seen. It was meant to be walked. So start where you are with what you have, even if you're scared. The path will meet your feet when your faith meets your action. Delays are not denial, they're preparation. There are moments in life when everything feels paused. You've done the work, you've prayed the prayers, you've waited with expectation, and still nothing seems to move. It's easy to take silence as a no, but often it's not a no, it's a not yet. The delay is not there to frustrate you, it's there to form you. It's the in-between space where strength, patience, and wisdom are built. What's being prepared for you requires a version of you that can handle it, sustain it, and protect it. The delay is doing the work of shaping you into that person. Sometimes we want the promise before we're ready to hold the weight of it. We want the blessing before we've built the character to keep it. So life slows us down not to punish us, but to prepare us. The waiting season is not wasted time. It's refining time. It's where your faith grows roots deep enough to hold up the dream you've been waiting for. It's where you learn to trust timing instead of rushing it. If everything happened when you wanted it to, you might step into something good before you were grounded enough to handle it. Delays teach you discipline. They reveal whether your faith is real or conditional. They test if you can believe even when there's no sign of progress. Waiting stretches your endurance and builds emotional maturity. It forces you to look within, to heal what's unhealed, to release what's not serving you, and to align your heart with the future you're asking for. The delay is where unseen work is being done, inside you and around you. Just because you can't see movement doesn't mean there isn't motion. We often forget that timing is as important as the outcome. A blessing received too soon can become a burden. That's why the delay is protection disguised as patience. It's aligning people, opportunities, and timing in a way that ensures your purpose won't collapse under pressure. While you're waiting, you're being positioned. Doors are being built, connections are being prepared, and strength is being developed. So instead of resenting the delay, learn to rest in it. Let it mature you. Let it remind you that slow progress is still progress. The waiting isn't proof that you've been denied, it's proof that something greater is still in process. The delay is not working against you, it's working for you, making sure that when your moment comes, you'll be ready to carry it well. What feels like loss can be hidden protection. There are moments when something you wanted slips through your hands. A relationship ends, an opportunity disappears, a dream seems to crumble, and your first instinct is to grieve. You feel betrayed by timing, disappointed in yourself, confused by the sudden shift. But what if what you call loss is actually protection in disguise? What if something was removed not to hurt you, but to shield you from pain you couldn't yet see? Sometimes what breaks your heart is the very thing that saves your soul. We often cling to what's familiar, even when it's no longer meant for us. We try to revive things that were only meant to teach us, not stay with us. When life closes a chapter, it's not always rejection, it's redirection. The removal hurts because you built your hope around it, but the loss creates space for something that fits where you're growing. You can't see the full picture while you're in the middle of it. The ending that feels unfair today might be the protection you thank life for later. Hidden protection often comes wrapped in pain. You don't realize it's protection until time reveals what it saved you from. The job that didn't hire you, the person who walked away, the plan that failed, all of it was clearing space for something better aligned with your purpose. You were not being punished, you were being preserved. Sometimes protection means keeping you out of places that would have limited you or away from people who could have broken you further. The loss hurts, but it's purposeful. It takes faith to trust that what left wasn't meant to stay. It takes maturity to understand that not every closed door is an attack, some are an answer. What feels like chaos can be divine order. When something leaves your life, it creates an opening for something new, something stronger, something right. The heartbreak, the disappointment, the silence, all of it is part of the process that leads to alignment. So don't curse the loss, study it. Ask what it's protecting you from and what it's preparing you for. Sometimes the most painful moments are the most precise acts of protection. Life removes what's not meant to go where you're headed, even if it has to break your heart to free your path. What feels like loss today may very well be the reason you're safe tomorrow. Faith builds paths before sight sees them. Faith is the ability to move when you can't see the outcome, to believe there's ground beneath your feet even when it looks like you're stepping into thin air. It's trusting that something greater is working even when there's no evidence yet. The world teaches you to believe after you see, but faith teaches you to see because you believe. It's not blind, it's visionary. It's the courage to walk forward in darkness, knowing that light will meet you somewhere along the way. Faith isn't comfortable. It stretches you, challenges you, and pushes you beyond logic. It asks you to let go of control and depend on something deeper than your understanding. When you operate in faith, you're building while others are waiting for blueprints. You're moving while others are hesitating. You're creating a path through belief, not proof, and every step you take in faith lays a foundation for what your future will stand on. Sometimes faith looks foolish to the outside world. It looks like trying again after failure. It looks like loving again after heartbreak. It looks like dreaming big when reality says you shouldn't, but that's where its power lies. Faith doesn't wait for confirmation, it creates it. It doesn't wait for the environment to be ready, it prepares the environment by moving first. Every act of faith opens a door that doubt could never touch. Faith isn't just believing things will happen, it's acting as if they already have. It's showing up for the job before you've been hired. It's writing the book before you know who will read it. It's preparing for the opportunity before it knocks. This kind of faith builds invisible bridges between where you are and where you're meant to be. It doesn't erase fear, it just decides fear doesn't get the final say. When you walk by faith, you stop depending on sight to guide you. Sight can only see what is. Faith sees what can be. The power of faith is that it builds what the natural eye can't detect yet. It constructs possibilities in places that appear impossible. It's what turns no way into new way. Faith is the builder of bridges, the creator of paths, the silent architect of miracles. Even when sight fails, faith keeps building, because it knows that the unseen is only temporary, and what's coming will be worth every step taken in trust. Every no is guiding you toward the right yes. Life has a way of closing doors that we were sure were meant for us. It can feel personal when opportunities don't work out or when people don't choose us. Rejection can sting because it touches the part of us that craves validation. But every no you encounter is not an end, it's direction. It's life's way of steering you away from what isn't aligned with your purpose and toward what truly is. Every refusal, every disappointment, every closed chapter is part of a larger navigation system designed to get you exactly where you're supposed to be. The truth is, not every door is meant to open, and not every opportunity is meant to last. Sometimes the no you're given is the only thing strong enough to push you toward the yes that was meant for you. When things fall apart, it's easy to think you've missed your chance, but you haven't. You've been redirected. Every time life says no, it's revealing something about timing, about readiness, or about alignment. That no could be saving you from stepping into a situation that would have drained you, distracted you, or delayed you. It's hard to see the wisdom in rejection when you're in the middle of it. The pain blinds you to the possibility that something better is being formed. But time has a way of showing you that those closed doors weren't a loss. They were guidance. What you thought was a setback was actually preparation for something greater. That missed opportunity taught you resilience. That failed plan built your patience. That no shaped your character so you'd be ready for the right yes when it came. The right yes always feels different. It doesn't have to be forced, it flows. It doesn't drain you, it develops you. It doesn't make you shrink, it makes you expand. The right yes won't compete with your peace. It will complement your purpose. But to reach that moment, you have to learn to trust the no's along the way. You have to believe that what's meant for you cannot pass you by. Every no is a step toward alignment. It's not rejection, it's redirection. It's pruning, refining, and positioning you for what fits. When the right yes arrives, you'll understand why every other door had to stay closed. The no's were never meant to break you, they were meant to build your path.